Hello and welcome to Nexonia's overview of our Android expense management application. What you'll see in front of you is a sample account on our website. Nexonia's been doing online expense management for 8 years, and we have thousands of customers around the world. So what I'll be showing you is the Android client in conjunction with a bit of our web interface. You can actually fill out your entire expense report, including submitting it for approvals, all from Android, just like you can from our iOS apps. And there is no need to go to the web for an employee who's doing expense reports and filling them out. So what I'm going to do, since this is our website, I can click on expenses. I'm logged in as Sarah Jones, and you'll see that there are no expense reports for Sarah. If I go ahead and I look at the Android simulator that we have, you'll see that there's one app called Expenses here. Now this has a blue icon, and if you search under Nexonia, which is Nexonia, on the Android market from either the phone or the web, you'll find our application has a blue icon. It's a completely free application. It's part of our web-based expense management system, which is a subscription-based system, so there is a cost to use Nexonia, but the mobile clients themselves are at no charge. So if I go ahead and tap on that, you're going to see it gives you a welcome screen. You can actually create a new account through the phone, although typically it's going to be for end users of existing customers. And when I click that, it asks for my email address, and it wants my password. And if I tap login, you're going to see it's going to synchronize with our servers, and of course, because I'm logged in as a user without any expense reports, it's just going to say there are no reports. Great. I wanted to point out a couple things on the home screen for Android. Number one, there's a credit card icon in the top. That's because credit cards have been integrated with this particular user account, and there's 19 available transactions that are ready for inclusion on an expense report. There's also a sync button in the top right, and what that means is you can run in completely disconnected fashion with Android or our iOS devices for that matter. This means you can be on an airplane, you could be filling out your expense report, taking pictures of your receipts, linking everything together, and when you land and you get a network connection again, we don't mind whether it's Edge, 3G, or Wi-Fi, you just go ahead and you click sync, and it'll synchronize all of the things that you've done while you've been disconnected with our servers. You can also submit your expense reports for approval, all from the mobile client. So let's go ahead down on the bottom right. You can see a plus sign. I'm going to click on it. And when I do, it asks me for a title, and I'm going to call this one Demo Number 1. And when I do that, across the top of the screen, you can see it says total due is $0. Across the top, you'll see a summary tab, an items tab, and a receipts tab. Now, a lot of cases, what you might be doing if you're moving really fastly is you can act really quickly, is you can click on the receipts tab and go ahead and add some receipts. The plus sign is in the bottom right corner. So even though you're not adding line items, you're not saying how much you spent and all that stuff, you can still use the app to take pictures during your day very quickly, and then you can later go back into your expense report, either later that night or the next day or the next week for that matter, and finish your expense report by actually creating the line items. You can also, if you want, do all your picture taking on the Android device and then finish it on the web. So we don't mind whether you do it all on the web, do it all on Android, or start it on the web, finish it on the phone, or start it on the phone, finish it on the web. All of that works just fine. So let's go ahead and tap on items and click the plus sign. And when we do, you'll see it's going to say, do you want to do it manually or from credit card? The reason we ask this question is because we know already that you have some credit card transactions that are pending. This is, in these credit card transactions, if it's a company account and they have corporate Amex, Visa, or MasterCard, we will automatically integrate those on a nightly basis, so you don't have to do anything and the transactions will come down. And if we also support personal credit card data as well, so you can actually set those up and integrate them. You set them up on the web and then they'll sync down to the phone. Let's go ahead and click manual. And when we choose manual, you're going to see here we have a bunch of options. At the very top, you can see manage receipts and a camera icon. So if you tap on the camera icon, and if you had a camera on your phone, which you would, but of course not in this software simulation, you'd be able to take a picture of your receipt immediately and it will be tied to this particular line item. If you've already previously taken pictures of receipts, you can click manage receipts, and that way you can tie this particular line item you're working on to a previously saved receipt. Now you'll see a number of choices here, customer and project. You can have these, your company might have these visible to you, they might be hidden, they might be relabeled, it'd be called maybe subsidiary and cost center. A lot of different options here, so they won't necessarily show for you depending on how your company's configured things. Let's go ahead and choose a few. Sample customer, sample project. Here's a list of categories, and you can literally put, this categories are completely under your company's control, so you can have all kinds of different categories. Some of our customers have 100 different categories. Some just have about 10. So it's really up to your company in terms of what they want to do. We do support up to 161 currencies, literally every currency around the world. This particular account has Canadian dollars, euros, British pounds, and US dollars, with USD being the default for that employee. And you can see here's the amount where you'd fill in maybe 123.45. And that's a car rental. Now, receipt attached, you can say you have a receipt. If you took a picture of the receipt, I'm going to turn it off and just leave it off and click Save Changes. And just like that, we've actually created one line item. We can click plus as many times as we want to add more line items. If you choose a credit card, you can have multiple credit cards attached. In this case, we have 4. I'm going to choose a company paid company card. And here's 2 transactions. They're both for way back in 2010. And if I tap on that, it automatically filled in the date, it filled in the currency of the credit card, it filled in any exchange rates to get it back to the employee's personal home currency that he wants to be reimbursed in. And literally, other than changing the customer project, which again are optional fields that may not appear to you, all you have to do is set the category, maybe it's a hotel bill, and click the camera icon to take a picture of the receipt. Once that's done, we can just go back, and you'll see now we've got an out-of-pocket expense of $123.45, and we have a corporate credit card, actually in a foreign. The corporate credit card for some reason is actually in Canadian dollars. That's maybe it's a Canadian headquartered company where the credit card is in Canadian dollars. Although this particular employee that I'm actually interacting with is in US dollars, so it's flipping it back to that employee's home currency. And we do support things like per diems. We do support mileage rates if you want those as well, and a host of other different options for how your expense categories or expense types are set up. If we click on the summary tab, sure enough, it's going to say $571.71 as a subtotal. It's going to list how much is company paid and how much is due back to the employee. Now, from the summary tab, you can click menu, and one of the options is to submit for approval. So here you are, you're submitting your expense report for approvals, and you haven't even left Android. Now you can say submit on next sync. You might do that if you're actually on an aircraft right now, but let's just click sync and submit now. It'll go back to the main report listing screen. It's synchronizing with the Nexonia servers, and you'll see now it says John Smith as the current approver, and the icon went from a draft status to a submitted status. You'll also notice the credit card icon used to say 19 and now it says 18 because we added a credit card charge to this expense report. If we go back and we look to see what things are happening on the web, I'm logged into Sandra. Sure enough, we can see her expense report has appeared. John Smith is the current approver. The title's demo number 1. There's the date range all the way for 2 years, it looks like, and $123.45 is what's reimbursable. Sandra can always open her expense report. She can see the Visa icon beside any Visa transactions, and the same for any other credit card. She can see all the details, memo fields, all that kind of stuff. And again, if this Android phone had been used to take pictures of receipts, you'd see all those receipts as well. An approver like John Smith would be able to go to the Approvals tab, be able to look at receipts, look at line items. He can approve or reject on a line item basis if he wants, and then it can go through multiple steps after that in approvals. As mentioned, we do support credit card integration. We work on Android devices, we work on iOS devices like iPhones and iPads, and it's really truly a corporate solution where we actually have integration with accounting systems as well. So we'll tie into just about any accounting system that exists, and we do that in as seamless as manner as possible. So we hope you've enjoyed this overview of expenses for Android. We're thrilled to offer it. We're adding features on a very regular basis, and any feedback and enhancement requests or issues that customers identify, we typically turn those around In the case of issues, we turn them around in a matter of minutes to hours. And in terms of feature requests, we move on things as quickly as possible. So thank you very much. We hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great day. Bye for now.